Impressions of Ryan?
Well, I mean, it was a pregame skate in which he wouldn't have done a ton. So the one thing that stood out was he looked like a good skater. Looked like somebody that can skate at the level. And then as we get into practice and eventually get into games, you'll get opportunities to show what he's all about.
What's your timetable right now for him? I'm sure.
Not tonight. Not tonight. I've a few practices. I don't want to get any further than that. But right now, not tonight. And a few practices, and we'll see. I think it would be more likely next week than Saturday. But let's wait and see what happens tonight.
What kind of role do you envision for him? Like, where do you think he can? How can he help you? How can he make you better? I guess.
If he's going to make us better, he's going to be a scoring winger. He's going to be a guy who can score. He scored lots of goals in college. I think he's got 70-some goals in 100 games or something like that, and that's a lot of goals in college. So, I had a chance to watch some of his shifts. I had a chance to talk to him before he made his decision. The one thing that impressed me was I asked him, what was most important to him. He said timing. And when you get an answer like that, that means you understand that that means you're a smart hockey player and you have to understand time and space and find ways to get open. And then when you get open, you can use your assets. Some guys, the hockey doesn't start till they touch the puck. Good offensive players think a step ahead. And it looked, that answer to me said he's always thinking a step ahead there. So that's great. Now he's got to come in and prove it.
Sounds like Dylan maybe as soon as shooting for Saturday.
Dylan's shooting for Saturday. Yeah, he's shooting for Saturday. So, again, it was just a matter of getting to where he's pain-free and full range of motion, and I think he's got that now. But yet we want to make sure tonight we don't want to rush him into it and set him back. So let's let him skate today, let him skate tomorrow, and hopefully play Saturday.
And Jonathan, is he?
I don't have a further update. I think it's. I would say at least through the weekend. Would he be ready for? I honestly don't have a further answer than that. I'm still waiting for an update.
Do you know that when the other guy, Rossi, isn't
I don't want to call him the other guy. I know that. Taro Hiroshi. He'll be in town today. I anticipate him being at practice tomorrow.
Have you seen much of him, Jeff?
Same thing. I didn't talk to DC on this one. It kind of came fast, as it kind of went through it. And ultimately, this is Yuri Fisher's job, and I think he works extremely hard at it. And I think he's going out finding the best players he can. And as I told both players, I got a chance to watch it a little bit. But to say that I know him through and through would be false. I'm relying on information from our scouting staff led by Yuri Fisher in that department, and Ken Holland also saw both of them play here recently, so it was good, to hear what he thought. Taro's a really, 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 from everybody that I've talked to, smart hockey player who's got great poise with the puck, and he had the puck on the stick a lot in college. Can that translate? Can he find ways to buy space and use his smarts to create space and play give-and-go hockey with guys? If he can, in his game translates to our level, it'll be great. But you just never know until they get here how their games are going to translate.
Is there any benefit to coming in a little more mature, a little older?
Well, I think without question there's benefit to having years under your belt and experience under your belt, and they're a little bit older than guys, like, for example, obviously Zadina and Rasser in this room. I think they're both 19, maybe one just turned 20. These guys are 22 years old. It's just a little bit older, a little more experience. So there can be benefit for sure. We'll see how they're able to walk in and do.
This will be number 9 for Zadina tonight. What's kind of been your holistic impression of him once he's up, and what would you like to see him do next?
I think that he's shown well. I think he's gotten, out after the first few games, I thought he looked more dangerous. He's shown confidence with the puck. I think he's tried to make things happen. The next step would be greater production. And now it's a heck of a lot to ask a 19-year-old, The great players find a way to ultimately carry their own lines. And I'm not saying he should have now, but come next fall, can he carry his own line? Can he make that line great, whatever line he's on? A lot of guys can play really good with a Dylan Larkin. Can certain guys make their own line better? That's what Larks does. So the more players you have like that, the better team you are. It doesn't mean you can't mix them together, but the better team you are. So I think it's been a great 9 games. I think he's a way better player today than he was at the beginning of the year. Credit to Ben Simon and his staff. Sean Horkoff and his staff. He's a way better player today than he was at the beginning of the year. And can he go back, have a great end of the year, and then come into camp ready to really produce at a high level?
How does he bridge that gap to becoming more productive on a night-by-night basis?
Generally, it's experience, and just some guys take a long time, some guys don't, and it's experience, confidence, strength, all those types of things. That's why it takes a little while usually for guys to get here. Most guys can't come in at 19 and be great players. Every once in a while a guy can. Can he come in at 20 and be a great player? I don't know that answer, but certainly strength and explosiveness helps. If you can get a little quicker, a little bit stronger, that's going to help. Confidence matters tons, and then just experience of learning how to handle space and those types of things.
How much do you think it's helped him playing against some of these top teams like Tampa, San Jose, those teams?
Well, I just think playing in the NHL is you get. It's hard to have a measuring stick of what you got to get better at if you don't play in the NHL, if you don't play at that level. So, playing these 9 games is giving them a good measuring stick of to take back with them and say I got to get better at this, or this. And I think every team in the NHL is a really good team. So regardless of who we're playing, I think it's good.
Jeff, with 12 games to go and you guys being out of the playoffs, can having these two guys be maybe a nice reminder that young guys are pushing for jobs, like just instill a little sense of competitiveness in seeing these two fresh faces that obviously would like to take jobs?
100%. I think if they can come in and play well, that's great for everybody. It just shows there's more people pushing to take people's jobs, and ultimately we have to be a better hockey team than we've been. And if these guys can help us be better than guys who are getting current ice time, then they're going to take ice time, and that's just the reality of the NHL. So, and I just think the more guys that can be contributors, the better. Now, I'd temper any expectation with the fact that we'll see. Lots of guys come from college and don't be real impactful NHLers, and some guys come to college and are real impactful NHLers. There's been some free agents that have become really good NHLers, but it's been a little while. So let's see what these guys can do.
Jeff, in the NHL of a hard salary cap world, Tampa is on the verge of maybe all-time wins, all-time points. How extraordinary is what they're doing, considering the sign of the times where it's supposed to be a very balanced and competitive league, which it is, except for them?
Well, I still think it's balanced and competitive. I still think there's enough hard nights. They've found a way to win lots of games. I would say the one thing that they have a real advantage at this time is all the guys that are getting paid, or all their best players are young enough that they haven't their salaries haven't outweighed their performance, and that's generally what happens in the salary. When teams get in trouble is when you pay them because they've been great for you, and all of a sudden their salaries are bigger than their output. Tampa's still at a spot where they've got a number of guys that are at ages in their prime, number of guys, or even maybe before their prime. And I think the trade with McDonough, being able to get McDonough was a big one. That just gives him a really two top flight defensemen. That makes such a huge difference compared to the rest of the league. Very few teams in the league have the balance of both forwards and D. Most teams either are really good D or really good forwards, and they've got both, and then maybe one of the best goaltenders. So you put that all together, it's a heck of a record.
How do you try and slow them down?
Make them defend, number one. We better put pucks behind them. If we turn pucks over, they're on top of you all night, and they're not afraid to be on top of you because they're not afraid to trade chance for chance because they know they can score. So you have to put pucks behind them. You have to get them going back into their end. You have to make them defend as much as you can. I thought, the last time we played them in Tampa, I thought we did a pretty good job in our neutral zone, making it hard on them. I thought we did a pretty good job on the track, and I thought we did a pretty good job in the O zone, or in the D zone. In the end, it wasn't enough. I didn't think we made them. I didn't think we got as many chances as we have had in the past against them. So we're going to have to find a way to defend great, check for our chances, and make sure we counterattack great.
Tampa's always a tall order for the Red Wings. What kind of challenges exactly do they pose?
I just think it's such a deep roster. The balance between, up front they've got a great balance of high-end talent and hardness, and the bottom two lines work and they compete and they're on you and they hound you, and the top two lines do that as well, but they also have real high-end talent, and they just got the couple, they have some really good D, but certainly the two stand out, Hedman and McDonough, as being two of the best in the NHL in my opinion, and then you have they've gotten good goaltending from everybody, but tonight I believe it's Vasilevsky, and he's one of the best.